Pleased to be joined now by Silverbacks assistant coach Carter Cochrane following another big goal output from you guys, a 6-4 victory over the West Kelowna Warriors. As always, we'll just start with what are your general thoughts on today's win?
Well, the general thoughts were it felt like we're just reliving the same days over and over again here, where yesterday was a 6-5 OT loss to Vernon, the same as a week ago, and then today's game almost felt like a mirror image of yesterday's at times, where we got out to an early lead, gave up that lead. Luckily, we were the ones that got the 2 goals to start the third period to get the 5-3 lead. It would have been nice just to hang on to that one and ride that into the end of the game, but wanted to make it interesting for the fans and everybody watching on hockey TV, so we thought we'd have another tight one there at the end.
So is this a case of, at 5-on-5 defensively, is it a case a little bit of being sucked into their style? I know you guys don't like to play that, and there seemed to be a little bit of back and forth. What is it defensively 5-on-5 that needs to change, and where you guys kind of sucked into their style?
At times, I think there was a stretch in both the second and third period, about a 5-minute stretch, where we did start to play a little bit of the track meet style, where it was back and forth and kind of trading odd man rush after odd man rush, and that's not really the style that we want to play. I think that the biggest adjustment we have to make is just we need to understand that we have to up our game when we're playing with the lead instead of kind of maintaining and being in cruise control. So 2 games in a row now, and a number out of the 7 or 8 that we've played so far where we've been the better team to start the game. We've shown that we have the ability to start on time, and there's only been one time we haven't scored the first goal in the game, but it's just the understanding that just like we do as a team, when teams get up on us, there's a pushback, and the pushback is always harder than the initial first push, and we need to elevate our games to be able to withstand that. I thought we did an okay job of it in the first 10 minutes of the second period of withstanding their push, and then normally once you kind of resist that, you're able to push back on your own, and we just didn't really have that today. And it was a tough, a little bit of a bad break there on their second goal, and then we allow them to tie it up with the 3-3 goal there just by taking a penalty late in the period. And again, credit to our guys for coming out strong in the third period and building the lead back up again, but once again, a little bit loose late and make it interesting.
So is it kind of safe to characterize this game? Would you say a bit of a sloppy game for you guys? I know 2 points is 2 points and you got the win, but do you think there were parts of this game that need to be cleaned up, and is sloppy a fair characterization?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was sloppy from a standpoint of our ability to kind of play a full 60 minutes our style, but I don't think there's too many areas in our game that we need to work on. I think that it's just about understanding the situations in games and the type of team that we're trying to become. And we're very happy with the type of team that the step we're trying to take here. And it's that step of becoming a good team to a great one. The reality with great teams is that they're able to maintain leads and they're able to come back in games. And I think right now, if you're a team playing against us with a 1 or 2 goal lead in the third period, you're saying, hey, these guys have been able to come back before. We can't let that happen, and we might be able to plant seeds of doubt. But from the flip side of that, I think if we're getting up on Vernon and West K right now, they're saying, hey, we've been able to battle back before. Let's do it again here. And for us to take that next step and to become that great team, that team that's able to win 60 to 70% of their games consistently, you have to be the type of team that is able to put teams down early and keep it that way. So we want to be able to come out with the starts that we've had and get out to early leads, but then we want to be able to get the job done too. And we need to be able to have that ability to do that. It's going to make us a more fearful opponent, that's for sure. And it's a step that we're hoping we take sooner rather than later, but we understand the process that we're going through right now.
After a surprisingly, quiet day yesterday for the Sirdekni, Mac, and Tassie line, they clearly show up again today. Can you take me through what you thought of their performance this afternoon? What were the good things they were doing?
Yeah, it was quiet on the score sheet last night, but they generated a ton of offense, spent a ton of time in the zone. They got some good looks on the power play, and I just think that they were probably the guys that were able to carry the best parts of their game from yesterday into today's game the most consistently. So They were very good off the forward check. We were able to get pucks behind their D very often, and there's so much speed on the wings of that line with Tassie and Mac, and Noah does such a good job, and he's really growing defensively for us right now, just in he's understanding the impact he can make by creating turnovers in our zone, and then he distributes the puck to either side of the ice so well for those guys. And Sully's done a great job of being able to spring Tass on that weak side, and even with little area plays. And I think Simon's using his speed better than we've seen him use it in the 2 years he's been here. And when they're dangerous in so many different ways, they can beat you off the rush, they can beat you down low, they can beat you on the power play. We're really excited about what these guys have been doing, and I mean the numbers speak for themselves, and they've been able to do it consistently. I think Noah's only gone one game without a point in this pod. Sully's only gone two. Simon, after a little bit of a slow start, has really ramped it up now since he joined that line. So to be a true first line in this league, you have to be one that is expected to and consistently contribute every night. And for 8 games now, we've seen as close to that as we can have. And it's really exciting when you see the variety that exists on that line.
Now 3-3 heading into the third, and about 8 minutes in, breaking that deadlock, Philip Jacques, his first BCHL goal. Can you take me through his kind of development here and getting that huge? It was a huge goal for you guys to strike first and third.
Yeah, the game-winning goal is normally the biggest one.
Well, not at 6-4. It didn't hold up.
So, I think that was a big goal for Jocko. I know that the first one's, and the longer you go before you get the first one, and you say long as in, it's been however many months, but it's only been, 15, 16 games. And, I think it's a great play by him. Talk about a guy who does the right things consistently, and it's what makes him such a good defensive player. He's in position really well all the time. And, but there's a reason why he had the numbers that he did last year in prep, and he has that offensive touch, and I think it's just been about him finding that kind of comfort to playing within the system and being able to use that. And he gets a great opportunity on the breakaway today, and he cashes in on it, which is a huge goal, which should have been the game winner if we could learn how to close out games properly.
So also a milestone, a first for Jocko with the goal, and the first career BCHL win for young Liam Vanderkoy. Just take me through him. He's a battler in there, made some key stops for you guys. What do you think of him picking up that win?
Yeah, huge. And, I think that there's been great developmental opportunities for a lot of our guys over the time off from playing. And, Liam's a guy that's benefited a ton from the time off. But the one thing is he needs game reps. And those have been few and far between with the pauses that we've had. And we want to make sure that we're giving him the best opportunity to build confidence and develop. And, he shows a little bit of nerves at times and still a little bit uncomfortable, but you said it best. He battles so hard. And, I think that all you need to know about Liam is watch how hard the guys play in front of him and how desperate they are to block shots. And, they want him to succeed more than anybody. And that's just because he's such a great teammate, such a great person. And, with his work ethic, there's no doubt about his potential. It's just about figuring out all the kinks that go along with being 6'7" at 17 years old. It's definitely not something I'm envious of, but he works so hard and he's got such a bright future. And, I think that there's going to be a lot more of those wins piling up for him in the future.
Lastly, we'll finish off with any other performances that you'd like to highlight from today's victory.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of guys that stood out in positive ways and made an impact. I think that you look at Logan Shaw and Braden Fisher playing with Philip Jacques on that line today. They were able to really push the pace offensively and get pucks behind their D. Shawzy was physical all night. I know he wants that penalty back. It's just a little bit of the new rules surrounding the BCHL and trying to figure those things out with COVID and everything. And but Shawzy's a huge leader for us. He wears a letter for a reason. He's an inspirational guy, and he pulls everybody up with him all the time. And I think he did a good job of that tonight with his line mates. And I was really happy to see them get rewarded with the goal there on Jocko's. And, they all factor into our penalty kill, which I know wasn't the best tonight, but, it's still a credit to them doing it every night and going out there and blocking shots. Jocko had a huge block. Shawzy had a couple tonight. And, it was really good to see those guys, just continue to provide. We're starting to see everything kind of round into shape up front with our forward group right now.
Perfect. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you on Saturday.
Sounds good.